Meanwhile, in stately Wayne Manor...
Hey Bat fans, welcome back to Brickscale Studio. We have the first episode in the Build the Batmobile coming at you right now. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff, and I am so excited to have you with me today because this is the first episode of the Build the Classic Batmobile. So if you've been following the DeLorean build, we're going to do this just exactly the same as we've been doing the DeLorean. So in the next segment, we will build the first two issues of the Partwork build for the Batmobile, and then we will move on to the Lego build. So, as I mentioned, we're doing, with the DeLorean, we're doing 4 issues and 16 Lego steps per episode. But for the Batmobile, if you watch the introduction video from Wednesday, which you should go back and watch, I'll link it to this video though, we will be building only 2 issues of the Partwork, and then that will correspond to 6 steps in the Lego build. And as with the DeLorean build, the Lego steps, it's the total number of steps, including substeps. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the build. First, we're going to start with the Partwork, and then move right into the Lego.
And in the Batcave, deep below stately Wayne Manor...
All right, the day we finally have been waiting for, or at least I have, for the last 6 months or so. Welcome to the first episode of the Build the Batmobile from the Classics 1966 TV series. So here's the magazine. If you are watching the DeLorean series, which you should be, those magazines are a bit bigger. These are smaller, which is nice. So we get into the magazine here. And this, from what I'm gathering, I have a few parts already. Each magazine, we're following along with the TV series. So this talks about Season 1, Episode 1. And that continues over here. And then we have information on the comics. Which, of course, Batman premiered in 1939. And then we get into our parts. And then we get into our instructions. And for issue number 1, it is pretty simple. We are just attaching, we're attaching the hood frame to the hood. And then we are attaching the Batphone base to the Batphone. So pretty simple in issue 1. So let's get right into it. All right, I am going to put down this little cloth because we're going to be working on the hood, and it is metal and black, and I do not want to scratch it. So here is part pack number 1, and we do get a screwdriver just like we did with the DeLorean build. However, as you can see, probably not the greatest, so we're going to continue to use our screwdrivers that we normally use. So let's get this open. Here we have the iconic hood for the 1966 Batmobile. And of course this is metal. And then we have this frame that's going to go on the underside. And then we have the Batphone and the Batphone base, which I can't grab. Here we go. And this is, surprisingly, this is metal. I thought this was, both of these parts were going to be plastic, but they are metal. So I'll set that right there. And then, of course, we have some AM screws. So I'm going to set the little, and then, of course, we have the screwdriver that came with, which I'm just going to set aside. So let's bring back the hood. And we are going to flip this over. And then we're simply going to take the hood frame, and it's just going to set right on here. There are some, these are all raised lugs, And so this just fits right over those holes, just like so. And yeah, this is going in with a whopping 10 screws. So let's get that started. All right, and that is our 10 screws in there. So I'm going to set that aside. And then the only other thing is to take the Batphone and the Batphone base and put them together. All right, and that should just be a press fit. So we will grab this. All right, and that just pushes right in there. No need to glue it. And so here we have the Batphone. All right, so attaching the hood frame and the bottom, or the base to the Batphone, that is it for issue number 1. And then here we have issue number 2. And again, it follows the episodes of the series. So again, we have season 1, episode 2. And it gives you cast and crew information when it first aired. And then again, we have comic book information following that. And then we get into our parts. Looks like we have a wheel, a tire, center cap base, outer wheel, wheel center, inner wheel, antenna, reflector, antenna base, antenna top, antenna, and then some screws. So here are the instructions. All right, and so let's get into issue number 2. There are the parts for issue 2. So the first thing we're going to do is assemble the wheel. So here we have the tire, and this is very stiff. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and looking at it, it's the same on both sides, so it doesn't matter. So the first thing we want is this silver insert. And that's going to go right on top, just like so. And then we want to flip it over. So that metal, well, this piece is plastic. However, this part is metal. And it's going to go right in there like that. And then this part is also metal. So we have it just like that. And that's going in with 5 CP screws. Alright, so there we got the first one. So now it should be pretty easy to get the rest of them in there. Alright, so there is that. And then what we're going to do, we have this piece, and then we have this piece. Alright, so it wants us to push, this is just a push to fit, push the bat emblem onto this little plastic piece here, but it does not want us to put it in the wheel yet. So we are just going to, we can just set it in there just to see what it looks like. It looks pretty cool, right? But it doesn't actually want us to put it in there yet, so we will set that aside. Now we want to take our antenna pieces. Alright, so this is the antenna piece, and it should extend, which it does, yes. Alright, well I can already see where we have a little problem. So these little screw holes are not even punched through. Let's see if I can just punch those. Alright. So this is going to go in. Yeah, this is going to be a little tricky. So EP screws. Alright, well, that wasn't so bad after all. So now we got the first one in. The second one should go in pretty straightforward. Let's try not to stab our fingers. Alright, so there is that in. And now, all we want to do, there is this very, very delicate piece here that we do not want to... I mean, this looks like if you just barely touch it, it's going to just snap apart. It's metal, but it's so thin. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we are going to place it on the end of the antenna, like so. And then we're going to take this little piece, and it's threaded. I'm going to collapse that down. Okay, so there is the antenna. Hopefully you can see that. It's so delicate. Alright, so there is that. And that is it for issue 2. So let's just bring over what we've done. So we have the hood, we have the Batphone, we have a wheel, we have the little hubcap decoration, and then we have this antenna. Alright, so that is it for issues 1 and 2. So let's move over to the Lego build. Alright, so here it is. We finally have it in our possession. The classic series Batmobile from Lego. So let's take a look at the box. Great, you know, the 18 plus packaging. And then on the back we have some great scenes. So let's unbox this and start building. Alright, so right off the bat, it looks like we do have some paper bags, which is the first time I have seen these. They don't seem to be numbered. We still have our numbered plastic bags, but we also have 4 paper bags. So that's interesting. And of course our instruction booklet's going to be in here. Alright, so let me get all this organized and I will be right back with you. Alright, it looks like we have 17 bags, plus our paper bags, and then there is another unnumbered plastic bag here. So let me get all this organized and I'll be right back. Okay, so yes, there were 17 numbered bags, and then there were also 4 tires, and then there were 2 unnumbered plastic bags, and then 4 unnumbered paper bags. And then we have the manual, which we'll go over in a second, along with a sticker sheet. So that's what was in the box. So let's get all this stuff out of the way and take a look at the manual and then start building. Alright, in bag 1, of course, we have the minifigure. Very cool. This is kind of a rubbery material. And we have this face print. And then we have an alternate face print, which it'll look backwards, but I'm going to go with this one here. Alright, so there's our Batman minifig. And then we go through the manual. again, you can scan for digital instructions. Here we have information on Batman and the Batmobile, all the little gadgets. Yeah, this is great. And then we just get right into the build, and right out of the gate we're going to use bag 1, and then we're going to use parts from this bag and parts from this bag. So again, not sure what is in the paper bags. Oh, I think these are the windshields for the cockpits. It feels kind of curvy, so I'm really glad that if that's what it is, I'm really glad that they put these in separate separate packages so they don't get all scratched up. So that's very cool. So we're just going to put those aside. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we're going to be doing the first 6 steps of the classic Batmobile. So let's get into it. Okay, so that is the first 6 steps, and it looks like it doesn't look like much at the moment, but it does look like we have the start of the chassis and axles here. Not sure if these are going to be front or rear wheels. We will just have to see. So there are the first 6 steps in the Lego Batmobile. Okay, so this is where we are. 2 issues into the Partwork build. We have the hood and we attach the frame. We also have the Batphone, antenna, a wheel, and the little bat signal that we will attach once we attach the wheel to the frame. And then for the Lego build, steps 1 through 6, we have this chassis piece, and parts of an axle. Again, we're not sure whether this is going to be the front or the rear, but we shall find out. Okay, so admittedly not much to see yet. For the Partwork, we just have that classic Batmobile hood, a tire, and the Batphone, but still looks very, very cool. I'm loving the way that wheel looks with the chrome piece and the little, I guess, hubcap cover, the little bat signal. And then for the Lego, very, very little to show so far. A little bit of the chassis, and it looks like some axle. Again, not sure if that's going to be the front of the car or the rear of the car. You'll just have to tune into the next episode to find out, or the episode after that. I'm not sure when we'll reveal. But let's just quickly summarize to see where we're at so far with the parts and the steps. So for the Partwork build, we completed 8 steps and used 14 parts. And for the Lego build, we included 15 steps, and that includes the 6 major steps and then the sub-steps included, and used 24 parts. So that's where we're at so far. Again, this one's going to be a little bit of a slower build because it's a live subscription and we're still getting parts shipped to us. So we're going 2 issues at a time and 6 Lego steps instead of 4 and 14. But anyway, will not delay you any further, but be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you will know when new videos in this series, or any video on the channel, comes out for that matter. We have some exciting other Lego stuff just coming up. And then of course we're continuing with the DeLorean build on Tuesdays, Lego reviews on Thursdays, and then now Superhero Saturday with the Batmobile on Saturdays, obviously. So again, until we see each other again, be sure to tune back in here for this Batmobile build, the same bat time and the same bat channel, which is Brickscale Studios. And until then, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I will see you soon.